Hi, it's Stephen here from Sound of an Ocean Wave, and this is day one of the March daily draws. So as we start the weekend and the new month, let's see what message we get. And I'll be taking the first card this month from, quite appropriately, the Ostara Tarot, because Ostara is later this month, and because of that, also the Season of the Witch Ostara Oracle. So those are the decks for this month. And so let's choose our first card and get the reading underway. Okay, here we go. We have the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles trudging along there. Very sturdy, reliable is the Knight of Pentacles. You know, he's not built for speed, but he's built for strength and reliability and dependency. He isn't one to go charging off, perhaps like some of the other knights may choose to do so. He takes things steady. I mean, look at him doing this. The terrain he's got is difficult, and he's not even riding the bear. He's walking alongside because he needs to. He needs to do what's necessary. He needs to take things carefully. But this is the knight that makes steady progress. It's not speedy necessarily, but it's step by step progress. And he's very diligent and determined. It takes a lot to walk in terrain like that. You have to be resilient. He's in it for the long journey, and he knows the journey is necessary, and he'll do what it takes to navigate whatever terrain he has to navigate in order to be able to get to where he needs to be. And that is the kind of energy that we need now to encapsulate. We may have an idea of where we want to be or what our goals want to be. We talked about that last month for our setting our intentions and going through all the goal setting, getting the creative energy going, choosing a framework, a blueprint through which to channel that creative passion and energy. And if we've got our plans and our stages set out of how we're going to move forward, we get on with now the active part, the doing part. But we're not rushing into it, right? This is the Knight of Pentacles, or the Knight of Coins, as it's sometimes known. And because of the terrain, we have to be careful. There could be rocks. There could be a rock hidden here. It's like a wintry scene. It's a very, very sort of not a very friendly scene in some respects. It's, you have to be careful where you're putting your feet, and sometimes you can only go at a certain pace because of the nature of where you're walking. Like if this is snow, and in snow you have to walk slower because you have to trudge through the snow. You can't. It's difficult to run in the snow. So maybe the circumstances mean that you got to take your time with it. You got to be careful because you could lose your balance if you try to go too quickly for the situation that you're in. You could stumble. You could hit your foot on a rock. You could lose your balance and fall over, and in our life journey we could, if not literally but metaphorically, stumble and fall if we try to go too quickly, because the terrain isn't built. The terrain in which we're going through at the moment isn't built for that. It's not conducive to that. It doesn't help. It doesn't allow for that. So we have to adjust to that and go steadily. But it doesn't mean we have to be any less focused. The Knight of Pentacles is very, very focused and deliberate in his actions. And he'll take that steady approach, paying attention to the details, looking around, his surroundings, of how he can best get through to where he needs to be through those surroundings. So that's how we need to be. Well, how can I, what do I need to do, and how do I need to go about it? Perhaps we may need to take care of how we act, not just the manner in which we act, rather than the action, just the action itself. The action itself is important, but the way we commit the action is also of importance. So a little bit of not rushing ahead, thinking things through, looking at the details, going carefully, step by step. We're still moving forward. That's the key thing here. We're still moving forward, but we're not rushing it. We're taking it steady. We are making progress. This is it. It's slow and steady wins the race kind of approach to it. We will get to where we need to be. We need to be confident in that. But we need to take our time. We not necessarily go too slow, but just make sure we don't go too fast, that we go at the right pace for the circumstances in which we're moving. And I think that's what this card is saying to us. So whatever lies ahead for us, whatever terrain we're going to navigate, at least initially, don't just dive in there rushing ahead and getting carried away. At least at the beginning, for now, look at what the terrain is, look at the nature of your circumstances. That's what we need to be doing. And go carefully and steadily. And then if the terrain becomes more conducive to picking up the pace, then fine. That the situation may change and open up for us so we can go more swiftly. But until then, let's take our time, do things right, and just go step by step. Okay, so let's have a look at which oracle we get and how that fits with it. Composting. I don't do gardening much, so I don't know a lot about composting. What it is that it is through remembrance of the past that you can create a more purposeful future. And it's built on the things of your experiences coming together, but the lessons we learn from them, from what I do know, the limited knowledge I have, is that composting is things that you don't need anymore, but it can be still put to use then to help you grow the things you're trying to grow. Okay, but also the composting process is a process. It takes time to form. You don't just get put compost overnight. Well, that's my understanding. Correct me if you know that I'm wrong. I don't do it, so I wouldn't know. But that's what the picture I'm getting, that this takes a bit of time. It's not a rush process. You make the compost through putting the waste things that you don't need. You're putting certain things in, and it enriches. It will eventually be used to enrich the soil in which you grow. And the soil of our lives in which we want to grow new things is enriched by the past experiences and lessons we've learned from that. But sometimes they take a little time to permeate through into the process. So that's why we need to go steadily, taking a careful note. But as it says here, remembrance of the past, that you can create a more purposeful future through that process. So it's with purpose, with careful diligence, and not rushing ahead, going at the right pace, we still can move forward and create what we want to create in our lives. And that is the message of the cards today. So I'll be back tomorrow with day 2. Until then, thank you for listening. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again very soon. Okay, bye-bye.